So to understand what's happening right now, we need to rewind a little bit in history. August 1971, Friday the 13th, and I'm not making that date up, this is when all of this started. Richard Nixon is locked away at Camp David with a dozen advisors, and they've been there for days. They've got a big problem. See, since 1944, the world's money was pegged to the US dollar, and the dollar was pegged to gold at $35 an ounce. That was the deal. Your dollars were basically a receipt for gold sitting in a vault. But America had been spending too much money, kind of like right now, really. Vietnam, the space race, social programs, all of that stuff. The dollar was supposed to be backed by gold, but at the rate that they were printing the dollars, there was just not enough gold to back it anymore. And foreign governments were noticing this because a lot of them stored their gold in New York. France, under de Gaulle, started sending literal ships across the Atlantic to collect their gold. And Britain was doing the same thing, by the way. So everyone wanted their gold back. They wanted their metals back. By August of 1971, US gold reserves had fallen by 50%. Half of it was just gone. It had been claimed by all these countries around the world. So Nixon went on national television on a Sunday night and announced that he was temporarily suspending the dollar's convertibility to gold, temporarily. He was basically taking America off the gold standard. That temporary suspension is still in place today, 55 years later. Now think about what that actually was, though. One man changed the world's money. There was no vote, no warning. He just did it. You went to bed holding a receipt for gold. You woke up holding a useless piece of paper. Well, not true, really. But the dollar didn't collapse at the time because they found a new backing for it. In 1974, the US made a deal with Saudi Arabia. Oil would be priced and settled only in dollars. Every barrel on earth bought and sold in dollars. So if you wanted oil, and everyone wants oil, obviously, you need dollars first. So that kind of became the new backing for the US dollar. Not gold anymore, but oil. They call it the petrodollar. And it held the whole system up for 50 years. But now that too is collapsing. So the dollar needs new backing. And that backing is going back to metals, but not just gold and silver. Actually, first, let's talk about why the petrodollar is failing, because it's really important context to understand what's going on right now and what comes next. So China and Russia now trade in their own currencies. They trade oil in their own currencies. They cut out the dollar as a middleman or a middle currency. India is paying for some of its oil in rupees, and Saudi Arabia, the original petrodollar partner, is now taking Chinese yuan for some of its oil. This has been slowly creeping up for the last 20 years. It's not anything new, but everyone expected that transition to take a few more decades. But Iran, the Iran war has just accelerated this thing, which is why it feels like we're heading head first into an economic abyss, despite the SPX setting new all-time highs all the time. And then there's gold. Central banks have been buyers of gold for 16 years straight. In 2025 alone, they bought over 1,000 tons of this stuff. This is central banks all over the world from all different countries. These are the people who print the paper money. Remember that. They are dumping their own paper to stack up metal. Ask yourself why. I mean, you don't sell something that you believe in. You don't print money to buy metal if you believe in money. But not only are they selling their own money for gold, they're giving up their dollar reserves for gold. The dollar share of global reserves has gone from over 70% back in 2001 to 60% today. Now, in the past, a US president would fight this tooth and nail. The dollar being the world's reserve currency is the single biggest privilege America has ever had. But Trump, he openly says he wants a weaker dollar, says it's better for exports. I mean, it's very bad for imports, and the US imports a whole lot of stuff, but you never let facts get in the way of a good lie if you're a politician. Anyway, in 2025, the dollar had its worst year since 2017, and Trump is not defending it. So if the man in charge isn't fighting for the dollar, you have to ask, what is he actually doing? What's the game he's actually playing? And that's where this shopping list comes in. That's where the metals come in. So Trump hasn't been buying tech stocks with government money. He's not been buying Nvidia. He's been buying metals and the companies that dig them up. But they keep this stuff quiet. I mean, it happens, but the media doesn't heavily report it because they rather we don't know. That's my opinion anyway. By the way, guys, if you want to stay updated with what's happening on the markets and my personal strategies, make sure you subscribe to my free newsletter. Like I said, it's free. I publish a report on everything you need to know about the markets every single morning. Basically, I read 20 to 30 articles. I summarize them so you don't have to. There's a link below.